All right, hello everyone. I hope you're having a great Friday night. It's currently 9:06 on Friday, January the 5th. Hope you're having a great end of your week. It was a pretty nice day today. We had a few clouds that rolled overhead, but otherwise it was pretty quiet. Still is actually relatively quiet right now, but the clouds have really streamed in through the evening. But satellite and radar, we've got a pretty powerful storm system that's really spinning. The main low pressure is up into Missouri, but we have that front that's kind of pushing through and going to bring us some heavy soaking downpours through the overnight hours. So hope you're doing really well tonight. If you're joining us on Facebook, on YouTube, anywhere, come say hi. If you have any questions, love to answer and just see how you're doing. But we are still tracking some of this rain right now that is pushing through. Starting to push, it's over Alabama right now. It's almost in towards the Georgia line. And that's what's going to be moving through. Not expecting the storm to really be anything substantial, as the low is also kind of tracking right over us right here. So really not expecting any kind of severe weather with the system. There could be one or two rumbles of thunder for areas south of Macon as the low is kind of moving right over top of us, but not expecting anything too substantial. Just a pretty good soaking rain through the overnight hours tonight. Let me see if I can pull up our bigger model. And I'll be checking an eye on the comments as well, just to see if anyone has any questions or anything. So here's 11 o'clock tonight. The showers are starting to break out through areas of I-75 and towards the west, but it's really going to be during the overnight hours tonight when things become to be pretty heavy. 2, 3 o'clock, while most of us are sleeping, it is just pouring outside. See all the yellows and oranges on the radar? That's pretty indicative that there will be some heavy downpours around, and areas south of Macon could have one or two of those rumbles of thunder. Waking up tomorrow morning, it's actually not going to be too bad. It's already out of here. There still could be a few lingering damp areas, but I think really by 8 o'clock, we'll still just have the clouds in place. The ground will be wet, but I think there will also be some peaks of sunshine by the afternoon tomorrow. So it's not completely a kind of a bad day tomorrow. There is definitely a lot of opportunity to still get outside if you need to do anything, but Sunday will definitely be a lot better. That is pushing out through. Hi, Lakita, how are you? Thanks for saying hi and chatting. Hope you're having a great Friday. So then that's the second of 3 systems. The first one we had was on Wednesday. Didn't really give us a lot of rain. This one looks to give us generally about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch that pushes through. And then the third one that pushes through on Tuesday does look like there is a chance for severe weather. Instead of the low kind of riding along the panhandle of Florida and to our south, this one tracks way up to the north. So we're going to be into the warm sector of that system, which does introduce some ingredients for there to be some severe weather throughout the day on Tuesday. So kind of breaking that one down specifically. Monday at 9 o'clock, we still could have some showers already beginning to push through as this warm front lifts through late on Monday night. Now you see these white bars here, these are kind of the ISO bars. The pressure is the lowest right at the low, that's why that's the L, and it kind of goes out farther, and these lines show how the pressure gradient is from the low up towards the high. And with them being north to south, that really the winds go in that same direction. So we're pulling up a lot of moisture up off the Gulf of Mexico, along with some storm energy. Now we are in the beginning of January. We really don't get to the bulk of our severe weather until February, March, and into April. So there's not a lot of storm energy to work with or Cape convective available potential energy. That looks to be relatively low. However, since this is a pretty potent low system, as it really develops and pushes towards the Midwest, it's going to really pick up a lot of wind shear. Wind shear is how the winds are changing with direction and height. So at the surface, the winds are usually the weakest sometimes, but they're usually the weakest. And then as you go up into the atmosphere, the winds can really strengthen, become stronger, and it creates kind of a pinwheel effect with storm systems like this. So you get that rotating thunderstorm when there's a lot of wind shear, and that could potentially turn into a tornado. So that's what we're watching for Tuesday. Through the Tuesday morning, it's still raining. 1 or 2 of these storms could rotate, could produce a tornado. Otherwise, there could be some 1 or 2 storms that become severe, producing damaging winds near 60 miles per hour. still a few days away. So the actual timing and the biggest impacts aren't quite clear, but I think the strongest storms will be really Tuesday evening. The cold front usually is the moment when we get the biggest and strongest storms. This acts kind of like a spark. It ignites any of the ingredients that are out there into the thunderstorms, and can usually, that's when we get the strongest storms, is when the cold front pushes through, because it really has it's a good lifting mechanism just to kind of fire up these storms. So Tuesday evening, likely when we're going to be seeing the strongest storms to produce those damaging winds, or maybe an isolated tornado. So that's something we're watching. And then as that low pressure moves off to the north, it's also going to be pretty strong and powerful system into the northeast and the mid-Atlantic, because it's a pretty potent system, but we get the wraparound. So it's going to be cold on Wednesday. Notice there's some snow showers up in the Appalachian Mountains. We're not going to get any of that. North Georgia may get a little bit of some flurries Wednesday when this moves out. We're going to be dealing with clearing skies on Wednesday, but it's going to be chilly with the wind out of the northwest. And the high is only going to be around 54 or so degrees, but with the winds still pretty gusty as that system departs. Wind chills, the way the actual air temperature feels on Wednesday is going to be in the 40s, so definitely going to be feeling like winter for next week. Kind of breaking it down here, this is what to expect. 3 to 4 inches of rain from both systems. So far, this winter has been surprisingly dry. When I was doing my winter forecast, we were in an El Nino winter, which usually is kind of firing up now, but December was really dry. We didn't have a lot of lows that gave us the heavy rain. We're kind of off exactly where those tracks went. January looks to be active. We're about 3 inches below average right now for this winter. We're having the 10th driest winter on record, but looks like things are really starting to fire up with El Nino winter. 3 to 4 inches of rain from both of these systems, especially from the one on Tuesday. Tonight, there's really nothing to worry about. The downpours will just be moving through, 1 or 2 rumbles of thunder, not a lot. But Tuesday, that's when we have the potential for those strong and severe storms to keep an eye on that we're going to be watching. But otherwise, tomorrow, it's not a completely ruined day. A few showers in the morning. Really, 1 or 2 areas will be seeing any kind of downpours tomorrow morning. It's only 53 degrees at 7 o'clock, so there's clouds in place. Not going to have to deal with any more freezing temperatures. We were down in the mid-20s this morning, and then we get some breaks of sunshine tomorrow afternoon. So it's really not a terrible day. We're up to 63 degrees. It's even a few degrees above average. So really not an absolute terrible day tomorrow, but Sunday will be really so much better. Let's see if we can see any rain that's starting to pick up here. So we're seeing some showers start to move in towards the Georgia-Alabama line, but I think really most of this will be here along I-75 around 10:30, 11 o'clock. So Thomaston, Butler, Montezuma, Americus, you'll get the rain first tonight, but then everyone will really be getting it through the overnight hours. It's going to be pouring tonight around 2, 3 a.m., and then it clears out really tomorrow. So that is all I really have. I'll leave you with the 10-day so that I can show you what to expect over the next week or so. And the storm system does look to be pretty active, as on the 10 days there's also a chance for a third system to be coming through. So tomorrow, really not too bad. A few AM showers. We're drying out by the afternoon. Sunday, it's really the better of the 2 days for the weekend. It's sunny, seasonable, and it will be a little bit breezy with that first low that'll be exiting, winds only gusting up to about 15 miles per hour. So nothing too crazy. Monday, the clouds begin to linger again. That rain will be arriving late in the day as the warm front lifts through. So Tuesday is a pretty warm day. It's actually the warmest day out of the next 10 days, up to 67, but that comes with a lot of the Gulf moisture as well, and that high wind shear to create those gusty, strong, potentially severe storms. So Tuesday is going to be the real day to kind of watch how this forecast develops. Specifically, as we get through the weekend, we'll have a really clear idea with what the exact impacts and severe weather timing hour by hour. But for right now, Tuesday during the evening and the afternoon looks to be the most active. And Wednesday behind the system, it's windy, it's cold, wind chills are into the 40s. Thursday, not a bad day. 1 day of resting up to about 60, partly cloudy. Then Friday, another system could cut up to the north and west like this Tuesday system. So that means that there is the potential for severe weather. Those are more favorable with the low tracking to our north and west. We will have to see how that turns out. It's that's still a week away, but another system likely arriving by next Friday. I will have a full report on WGXC News at ABC 16 and 11. Likely we'll have some rain in the area at that time. Otherwise, then I'll talk to you all again. I hope you have a great weekend and have a continuous Happy New Year, and I'll see you tonight at 11.